Shabbat shalom, everyone. I'm going to make you all a promise this morning that this is going to be the last sermon I give about the election. I promise. I'm sure Barb is breathing a big sigh of relief. Last one. As we were working our way up to the election, I had this pit in my stomach that I think all of us had because we knew that it was going to be ugly. And all of the things that we thought were going to happen all happened. There was the standard idea of what politics usually is. There was lots of lying, lots of really intense attacks, the mudslinging, discrediting of people. It was brutal. But it's also what we expected. But what I wasn't expecting, what really caught me off guard, was that the major pejorative, the major line of attack, which first started with the Democrats, but then switched hands and kind of went back and forth over and over again, was one word, one label. It was an accusation of being weird. So for those of you who are lucky enough to have not followed closely the run-up to the election, how this happened is Tim Walz, who was Kamala Harris's pick, first started gaining traction and really picking up a lot of enthusiasm on the internet for talking about Republicans being weird. Republicans responded by calling Democrats weird, and back and forth it kept going, and it was this big polemic about who was weird. And when that movement started gaining traction, started picking up, I felt first a little confused, which I will explain why in 1 second. And secondly, I felt offended, which I don't get offended easily. It takes a lot to get me offended. But let me tell you why. Because, and you're going to hear a similar theme as you heard in my sermon last week, that the very thing that is being portrayed as a feature issue of the election, and very negatively I might add, is one of the things that is central to Jewish identity. I hope I'm not breaking this news to anyone for the first time this morning, but Jews are weird. We're weird. A month ago, we were smacking willow branches against our chairs so that God would make it rain in Israel. We're weird. We eat herring in cream sauce on purpose. We're weird. We do a lot of weird things. We say a lot of weird things. We believe a lot of weird things, and we embrace a lot of weird things. And you know what? We're proud of it. And we should be. To us, it is a testament to our defiant endurance, a testament to our dedication to our tradition and our culture and our peoplehood, that while the world turns and so many peoples try to turn with it, we hold fast to some rites and rituals, some traditions, some ways of life that can be, to the outside eye, and even to the inside eye, a little weird. So when I saw this, when I saw how this word was being used, not just as a pejorative, but one that was deemed to be political perfection, that it was considered to be strategically more damaging than pretty much anything else you could say, I was offended. And so this morning I'm throwing down the debate gauntlet to our two major political parties, and I am presenting my rebuttal to this current political discourse, because my argument this morning is that being weird is a blessing. And I believe this with my whole heart, to a point where I think that we should even consider adding it to the words of Birkot HaShachar. When we say things like, Baruch atah Hashem she'asani b'tzalmo, blessed are you, Hashem, for creating me in the divine image. Blessed are you, Hashem, for making me a Jew. Yes, let's add Baruch atah Hashem she'asani muzar. Blessed are you, Hashem, for making me a little weird. Because the greatest moments of innovation, of creativity, of human achievement have come from weird people. People who were willing to buck the status quo, the current norms of the zeitgeist. People who saw the world not as it was, but as it could be, even if that image felt impossible. The world as we know it is created by dreamers. It's created by weirdos. And Kal v'chomer all the more so when it comes to who we are as Jews. Every major moment in Jewish history was made possible by the muzarim, by the weirdos who were considered on the margins, the outcasts, the oddballs. Avraham Avinu? Weird. Moshe Rabbeinu? Weird. The rabbis of the Talmud? Very weird. And thank God they were, because we are here because of them. So while I've been a little lighthearted about this up until this point, let me be serious here for a second, because I do think that it's important. Our weirdness is our greatest strength. And it deserves not just appreciation, not just celebration, but it deserves emulation. It deserves to be our inspiration. Because we are in a time, we are in a moment where cynicism and despair are the messages of the day, where fear and hopelessness create division, and within that division, the same elements create conformity and rigidity. But what our moment needs so desperately is dreamers. What our moment needs is a little weirdness, a breaking free from the tethers of acquiescence and capitulation so that we can once again create the impossible. But we can't get there if we demonize weirdness. We can't. And so no matter what our politicians are saying, no matter what the talking heads and the pundits are saying, I hope that we can be united on this point in the rejection of this polemic. Because it was weird to keep Judaism alive after our temple was destroyed. It was weird to shift from politics and military might to Talmudic academies and vigorous study. It was weird to reject elitism and preach Jewish accessibility through joy and prayer. And it was weird to resettle our ancient homeland smack dab in the middle of the worst neighborhood in the entire geopolitical world. It was weird. But thank God for the weirdos, because they didn't care. And we're here today because of them. And so for my last sermon on the election, promise, good nug, I think it's enough. Because we have more important things to cover now. We have hearts to move, souls to inspire, and we're not going to move those hearts or inspire those souls through kvetching or tired analysis of this or that. We're going to light those sparks by doing what we're best at, by dreaming, by breaking the mold, by getting a little weird. Baruch atah Hashem. Blessed are you, Hashem, our God, ruler of the universe. She'asanu muzarim, who blessed us with the gift of being weird. Shabbat shalom.